if you watch my videos, you know that my biggest goal is to give you as many options, as many tools as possible for reducing the stress in your life and better managing the stress in your life so that it doesn't affect you as strongly, as badly. One of the things that you've probably heard me talk about more than once is the idea of changing your state. When you are feeling stressed out or when you're experiencing stress, it's important to be able to shift your state, to change out of that stressed out feeling, because if we're left in that, it can grow and expand and just make everything that much worse, really affect your day, potentially affect your life over time. It can affect your health. It can affect the quality of your life. So it's really, really important that you don't get stuck in that state of stress when stressful things happen. And you know that stressful things do happen. So it's all about how we deal with it and not allowing the stressors to affect us. They'll affect us to some degree, but we have to be able to cut it off and put a stop to it. Know when enough is enough. And enough shouldn't be when you're close to your end, but rather before things get out of control, before things get miserable. So one of the things that I want to talk to you about today is the idea of grounding yourself as a way of changing your state. When I say grounding yourself, I mean that quite literally. The exercise that I'm suggesting for you here in this video calls for you taking off your shoes and putting your feet on the ground, whether that's simply the floor of the room that you're in, or whether you're actually able to go outside to take off your shoes and feel the grass or the sand or the soil or the rocks wherever you are under your feet. And if you're in the city, that could even mean simply feeling the sidewalk or the cement if there's no patch of grass that you can find. But the idea here is to first connect your feet to that flat surface of whatever you're standing on, whether that's the floor or it's the ground outside, this surface that is supporting your weight, that is allowing you to stand on. And of course, you can do that while you're sitting too. It's the same ground and it's the same feet that are touching that ground, effectively grounding you. Now, there are many studies that you can look up about the effects of grounding and walking barefoot on actual soil or grass, and it's all good and beneficial and it feels good and it can be relaxing and de-stressing. But that's not necessarily the focus here. The focus is simply to feel your feet against that flat surface. Or if it's not flat, it's okay too, because if you're on soil or the ground or the sand or some rocks, it may not be perfectly flat, and that's okay. But the idea is to feel that surface on the bottoms of your feet. When you notice that, when you're allowing yourself to feel that, you are effectively shifting your focus. Sometimes the ground may feel cool, or maybe it feels warm or even hot if you're outside in the sun. It may feel wet if, for those of you who are more adventurous, step in some water and you feel that on your feet and you pay attention to what the bottoms of your feet feel like. It's a very good exercise to shift your focus away from that stressed out state, away from whatever the stressful situation is that's happening. And I understand that this particular exercise will be somewhat limited in terms of when you can do it, But if it is an option, this is one I highly encourage you to try out. The next step is to engage the rest of your senses. So you've paid attention to how the bottoms of your feet feel when you took off your shoes and put your feet on some surface, whether that's indoors or outdoors. Now, try to engage that sense of feeling to the rest of your body. Is there a breeze? Are you feeling a breeze on your skin? Is there wind blowing your hair? Maybe it's raining outside and you decided to go out there and experience that. What do you feel? Maybe you feel the warmth of the sun on your skin. What are your senses telling you? What else do you feel besides that feeling at the bottom of your feet? So now it's time to engage the senses even more. Once you've experienced that feeling at the bottom of your feet and you've paid attention to that, what else are you feeling? What do you hear? Whether you're indoors or outdoors, chances are there are some sounds around you that you can hear. Besides sounds that surround you, you can also try to listen to your own inner environment. For example, as you are paying attention to the sounds, can you hear yourself breathing? If you listen for it, you will hear yourself breathing, so listen to that. Some of you might even be able to hear your heart beating. So pay attention to the sounds both around you and the sounds within you. Engage that sense of hearing. Pay attention to the visual cues around you. What do you see around you? And you can sit still and simply take stock of what's in front of you, or you can look around, or you can even close your eyes. If you close your eyes, you'll be limited in what you can see around you. But if you keep your eyes open, you can pay attention to what your sight allows you to experience. So that's another sense that you can use. What do you smell? Hopefully, it's pleasant smells around you, but even if it's not, pay attention to the smells around you. What can you identify in terms of the smells around you? Sometimes it helps to close your eyes to help you to focus on a different sense other than your sight. So you may want to close your eyes and focus on what you smell around you in that moment. As you go through your different senses and identify the different things, make a list of them. How many different things are you feeling? How many different things are you seeing? How many different things are you smelling? The point of that, again, is to get your mind onto a task that allows you to get into the moment, get into the present, and get you out of that stressed out state. This is one of the exercises I absolutely love the most because, one, it's so simple. And again, as I mentioned earlier, there's a time and a place when you'll be able to do this. But when you can do this, please give it a try. It's super simple. It is very effective in shifting your focus and getting you into the present. But also, as you practice this particular exercise, you are training your brain to get yourself out of a stressed state and into this different kind of stress that is more beneficial for you. Much quicker, much easier. Remember, practice makes better, and it's the same thing with this particular exercise. So I encourage you to give it a try. It really is a good one. For those of you who are braver and more adventurous, you may want to put your bare feet into some new experiences. Maybe you step in some water, or maybe you step on snow, or whatever the case may be. But that will definitely get your attention. That will definitely get those other senses going for you. So I encourage you to give it a try and keep practicing it so that you have one more tool in your toolbox, and so that you get better at using this tool, more comfortable with it, and making it more effective in the long run. If you'd like to learn more about a comprehensive approach to stress management, check out the link below.